Hey, Jamie here. Today in this video, I'm going to show you how you can verify a list of emails that you've obviously either acquired or you've used our people data tool to get the list. So before we jump in, I guess how to do it, why should we do it? Look, if you send lots of emails that bounce, it does affect your domain reputation. So, and why do you care about domain reputation? So if you damage your domain reputation by sending lots of bounce emails, or people mark it for spam, that's another conversation. But if you're sending lots of bounced emails, it can affect the reputation, which also will affect your deliverability rate over time. Deliverability rate is obviously very important. As the emails you send, you want them to get number one into their inbox, but also into their main inbox. You don't want to go into promotions, or obviously the worst case would be spam. So very important to verify your email addresses for that case. But as well as if you built up a list, you want to know that the people that you're actually spending time sending these emails to are actually going to get it because they're actually verified and real email addresses. So let's start with the software I'm going to use. So obviously People Data Tool to acquire the list of email addresses. And I'm going to use a software called usebouncer.com, or they're called Bouncer. Why have I chosen them? Look, I've tested heaps, tens in fact, if not dozens and dozens. How I verify and how I make my decision on which verification software to use, and obviously you don't have to use these guys, but look, you might as well utilize the time that I've spent on these, so rather than you having to go through the same process. So high level, my process is I get a list of emails that I know are true or real, my work emails, my wife's emails, etc., etc., etc. And then I go through and I verify these emails using the different software. Normally they give you sort of free, some credits to test. So I do that and I go through them and I work out which ones have got the best deliverability. Now on that, you can put a list of emails through these verification software, and it might come back, say 20% are going to bounce when you know that they are real emails. So that's the difficulty with these software. No software will tell you 100% whether those emails are not going to bounce unless they're actually sending the email, which obviously they don't do. So that is important to bear in mind. But I've chose Bouncer for accuracy. So when I did the test, they were equivalent and better than most, and obviously cost as well. So, they all sort of do the same thing. Some have better software than others. I just like Bouncer because they're easy to use. Their cost is cost effective, or I found that they were one of the best value, and yeah, I just like the UI. It's not nice and easy to use. So let's crack on. So I've already built a search here. I just remind myself what search I actually did. So I did nurse in the job title, 10 miles from San Francisco, 2 to 10 years of experience, critical care keyword, must have a personal email, and I chose them from the hospital and healthcare sector. So I've chosen 105 of those that I want to send an email to, or I want to verify their emails anyway. So first of all, we go select all, and then we reveal all their contact data. So as you can see, I've already done that. So that is there for you. And now let's export. So I'm just going to confirm that download. Cool. So now what that's going to do is just send me a CSV spreadsheet of all of the contact information, all the important contact information that I want from the PDT data set. Now I have already downloaded this, but I'll show you what I would do to make this process a bit faster. So I'll just drag this over here. Cool. So let's just make this a bit bigger. Now, if you've watched some of the other videos, I always like to do this just to unwrap any text wrapping. So it just looks like a list, easier for me to process. Now, as you can see, it does say personal work email. That is just an error in our system, but these are personal emails, so we can relabel that. Now, what I'm going to do first, as you can see, some people have two, but the first will always be the primary email. So what I'm going to do here is just quickly cut them. I'm going to put them in a new column, in a new sheet. and then I'm going to split them. So I go up here to data, text to columns, then the delimiter, or what's going to split it by, is obviously going to be comma, finish. All right, so that's put all of my emails in 2 separate columns. So now I'm just going to take this list. All right, I'm going to command cut. I'm going to put it back in here. All right, now, so just save that. Obviously, with your data, I'd obviously recommend being fairly organized with it. So let's just save. Cool. So that's the emails that I want to check. So I'm just going to get rid of the professional ones for now, because I don't want to outreach to somebody's professional email in regards to a job vacancy. So now I can just get rid of this. Cool. All right. So that's the list that I want to check. So I'm going to save that again. All right, and close it down, and obviously label it. This is just candidate 6, but label it, give it a name so that you can find it again shortly. So let's get rid of this. All right, so that's the data exported. Now we head over to Bouncer. This is actually a blog that I'm going to put into, I'll put this link into the blog. So if you're interested more about, why and the hows and, what it all means and everything else, then, you can jump in and have a look at those guys. Or look at the blog and have a look around their services and, what they recommend doing by this lady here, Isabella. But yeah, she's great. The content's nice and easy to read, so I'll put that link in there for you to check out. If you do want to use the link that's in the blog to sign up with Bouncer, I believe they give Recruiterly customers 10%, but either or, you can jump straight in or use the link on the blog. Cool. So now, once you've logged in, you will need to buy some credits, but you should get, I think it's either 500 or 1,000 free. Obviously, I've got lots in there because I send lots of emails. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to click. I'm going to upload the spreadsheet that I just did, like this. And there it is. It will start working away. Okay, so then you press start now. But I'm not going to do that as I've already done it. It only takes a few minutes, but you don't need to sit here and watch it spin while I say nothing. So let's have a look. So this is the one that I did earlier. It's the exact same list that I've just showed you. And this is another reason why I like this tool. So we've got here, so out of those emails, 104 are deliverable, which is awesome. None are risky, 1 is undeliverable. That is a good list. So what I want to do is download it. Now, this is, as I said, why I like Bouncer as well. So you can have a look at sort of the different variants. If you downloaded them all, they predict a 1% bounce rate, which is actually okay. Me personally, I always choose safe to send. Now, if you're sending to work emails, you'll find that number is greater. Work emails are always harder for these systems to detect due to servers and all the other security aspects that business will have on their emails. You'll always find that the delivery rate is far lower in these platforms for work emails, but these are personal emails, so this is fine. So you can choose safe to send, which I do. You can send with caution, or you could do a custom. Again, look, my best advice, don't worry about playing around with this. Look, if you do lose 10, 15, 20 emails out of 100, I would say that's better than sending a campaign and they start bouncing quite heavily. And then you'll be sitting there, thinking or panicking, or just you want to turn off the campaign. So look, just always choose safe to send. So now we have got that. So I'm just going to download it again. So this goes back into the same CSV. And again, what I like about this tool, and some of these don't do this, is that it keeps all of your original data. Okay, so nothing has changed in that sheet apart from, let's just format that again. All right, cool. So the only thing that they have tacked on the end, so go right to the end of the sheet. There's lots of data in here. You can remove this if you're not going to use that data. So here, status, deliverable. So this is what they've added to the end. So this is their tech or their software, giving you the reasons why that they believe it's deliverable. So yeah, check out bouncer.com's website or the link in the blog, and they'll sort of tell you if you're interested more about, all of these different things here. But again, the most important is that it's deliverable, and you should only get deliverable in this column because we only click save to send. So yeah, that's it. Now you've verified a set of email addresses. They are good to send and good to sort of put in a marketing campaign or send out individually or whatever you want to do with the list. All right. So thank you very much for listening, and check out our next videos